Brad, Washington has passed trillions of dollars in aid, in part to keep Americans fed with a roof over their heads. But a good portion of that money has yet to make it to the people who need it most, and rent's coming due. In a pounding rain, James and Rinska count their blessings.
We are privileged and fortunate enough to have a savings. I am just praying for the souls that don't even have that as an option.
But candid talk from the deck of their apartment shows with rent due, those finances are drained.
This is going to be the first time where it's really kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel to make ends meet and get rent paid.
Rinska is an actor-director. James opened the Andersonville restaurant Gadabout. How about stimulus checks? Did you receive them?
We have not received ours yet.
No.
Promised federal aid has yet to reach them, though they've tried.
I applied for the PPP. Rinska has applied for unemployment from her other jobs.
4 times. If I get it, I get it, and if I don't, then I don't. At this point, it's not changing my circumstance today.
I think you'll see more tenants that are not able to pay their full rent this time.
John Bartlett directs the Metropolitan Tenants Organization.
There are more people that have been laid off since the beginning of the month.
His advice to renters is typically to work out a late payment with your landlord. However,
I think it's particularly hard on the smaller landlords, the 2 to 4 flat owners.
landlords have mortgages to pay and often rent to those with limited incomes.
They're on a much tighter budget. They can't really handle, a prolonged period of not receiving rent.
We don't really have any income to speak of at the moment, so it's kind of terrifying.
And on a day when the weather matches the mood of the country, they know there's worry to spare.
It's a business. They have a mortgage to pay. We're all in the same boat.
So if your rent's due, what can you do?
Parents are quick to protect.
Raid!
Just like Raid, Ant, and Roach.
For many in the metro, another rent payment is just days away, and with many out of work, it is making it even harder to come up with that money. Last week, on Monday, that issue prompted many protesters to line Interstate 70, demanding help from Missouri Governor Mike Parson. But later that same day, Governor Parson explaining that there will not be a statewide pause on rent or mortgage payments, and that people need to use the systems already in place for help. And now, 41 Action News reporter Nick Starling shows us how some are trying just to get by and how landlords are handling this.
This next rent payment brings a level of anxiety for people who are no longer working, wondering how they'll pay. Meanwhile, landlords are also in a tight spot. Brandy Granado sits on her porch, wondering how she'll pay May's rent.
I was able to pay my April and March rent with the stimulus, but I have no clue where May's coming from.
She lost her job as a temp worker at UPS and unfortunately knows what it's like to not have a place to stay.
I had a horrible slumlord last year, and I ended up homeless over the summer. And while we were homeless, everything in our storage unit got lost through a fire.
Brandy is trying to work her payments out with her landlord. On the flip side, landlords are trying to make ends meet.
The costs for us don't stop regardless of what the situation is on the ground. We will always have ongoing maintenance and taxes and insurance and other debts for the property to maintain it anyway.
Landlord Stacey Johnson Cosby says usually home providers can work something out with tenants if they can't pay.
We're asking that they just reach out to their landlord, that the tenants reach the landlords and let them know, hey, I'm not going to be able to make my full rent payment. It may not be on time.
Cosby Johnson says housing is a two-way street and both sides need to come together during this pandemic.
Because we're all in this boat together. We need the tenants as much as they need us.
Reporting in Kansas City, Nick Starling, 41 Action News.
Like to say all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders at Great Millstone. Honor to all the brethren out here doing the work in the will of the Father in truth and sincerity. Amos, chapter 5, verse 18, Salakia. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. And that's what you got going on right now. All right? We're in the midst of the day of the Lord. All right? The sunshine, the sun shining on America is out the window. Now it's the day of darkness out here. That's why you got these people not knowing how they're going to pay for their rent. That's going to go from not knowing how they're going to pay for their rent to not knowing how they're going to get their next meal. All right, so that's why it says it's going to be as if a man did flee from a lion and then ran into a bear, because you're going to go from one problem to the next problem. All right, so today's problem is going to be the rent. Then tomorrow's problem is going to be how you going to get food on the table. Then the next problem is going to be how you going to keep people from overtaking your home. So the problem's just going to keep coming and coming. As the scripture said. And I'm going to read it again, verse 19. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him. So you went from one problem to another problem. Or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. You get it? So that's what's going on in these last days, all right, that we're living in. Verse 20. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light? So it ain't no more sunshine out here, man. These days are finna be dark, man. Gloomy, stormy. Even very dark and no brightness in it. So that's the days that we have upon us. All right? But yet, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans out here still thinking everything is sweet. Like everything is cotton candy. But you're about to be awakened. All right? Only because this government finna open things back up don't mean things finna go back to normal. All you people, all these jobs ain't coming back. Half of you people still ain't gonna have no job when the economy open back up, man. These employers are not hiring all you people back to work. They're just gonna hire half, man. So you're gonna still have people out here not getting no unemployment checks, not getting the stimulus money, and still being unemployed. And wondering how they're gonna pay rent, how they're gonna pay their car payments, how they're gonna put food on the table. All right, just going from one problem to the next problem. This Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. See, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Lord done gave you plenty of time to get yourself right, man. So you supposed to be getting yourself right a minute ago, even now, but you ain't doing it. So now the evil days are coming. All right, now the years that you ain't gonna take pleasure in, they coming. Now you ain't gonna have that time. All right, you ain't gonna have the time to know who the Lord truly is, man. To know who His Son truly is and what they stand for. To know who you truly are, and the importance that you play. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites, man. And God's true name is Yahweh, and His Son is Yahweh Shai, whom the world instantly calls Jesus Christ, which are black men. All right. You're supposed to be knowing that you're supposed to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments and follow them to the best of your abilities. All right, and call upon them in your day of trouble. But here it is. 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans got your head stuck up your ass. Where you just gonna be lost, man. Lost in the sauce. Verse 2. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. Exactly. And that's the time we're living in. Now it's almost too late. You're playing with borrowed time right now. All right? That sand in the hourglass is getting real low. So it's very important that you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans wake the hell up before you get caught up in this destruction. Stop going to sleep. Stop thinking because they telling you that the government's about to open things back up, that everything finna go back to how it was. No. Hell is still coming upon this place. All right? That's what's coming, man. It said the keepers of the house shall tremble. That's what's going to happen, man. Half of you people are not going to know where your rent is coming from. How are you gonna put food on the table? How are you gonna keep that car payment going? You about to be in your house trembling, losing your mind trying to think about how you gonna get money. And the strong men shall bow themselves. Exactly. The strong men, the men that you think got it all planned out, they gonna start to bow themselves when they finally realize, damn, this place is over with. And the grinders cease because they are few. You see that? The work cease because they are few. It didn't say all the work is gonna cease. It said that the work cease because they are few, meaning it's just a few jobs out here. So like I said, all these jobs ain't coming back. No, all the jobs won't be lost, but all these jobs ain't coming back. So the ones that get jobs, guess what? Lucky you. But for the ones that your job ain't coming back. Most of you people, your jobs ain't coming back. And those that look out the windows be darkened. Exactly. And that's what you're going to see when you look out your window. No hope. You're going to well understand what times you living in real soon. All right? Especially you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. That's where you ain't got time for the Most High. All right? You finna well understand the time that you living in. You finna well understand that America ain't coming back. That America, a.k.a. Babylon the Great, is about to be shut down. Verse 4, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. Exactly, and it is low, and it's going to continue to be low. All right, the workforce is going to continue to be low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of the music shall be brought low. Exactly. And all you so-called rappers and all you singers, y'all being brought low too. That's why y'all can't do no concerts. All right, all that shit finna be shut down, man. Y'all finna well understand that the Most High ain't playing with you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans no more. And he sure as hell ain't playing around with these heathens. All right, but as the scriptures say, he's first gonna start at his house. All right, and then get on these heathens. So that's what time we're living in, man. Verse 5. Also, when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish. Exactly. What is that almond tree that's gonna flourish? That means the almond tree is meaning like the words of the Most High is gonna flourish. All right, his vengeance, his destruction. All right, his prophecies, they gonna flourish. They gonna come about. All right. Matter of fact, let's get the understanding on that. Let's go to Jeremiah real fast. Jeremiah chapter 1. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 11. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Jeremiah, what seest thou? I see a rod of an almond tree. Salakia. Then said the Lord unto me, thou hast well seen, for I will hasten my word to perform it. So what does that almond tree represents? It represents the Lord hastening his words to perform it. All right, so what is the Lord performing? He's performing his word to destroy Babylon the Great, man. All right, he's hastening it. I mean, it's finna come quick, come swiftly. All right, now let's go back to Ecclesiastes. Okay, slack it for a moment. Phone started freezing up for some reason. All right, going back to Ecclesiastes. So now we got to understand on what that almond tree means. All right. So we definitely living in these last days, man. Verse 5. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 5. Also, when thou shalt be afraid of that which is high, and fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish. And what is that almond tree? The hastening of the Lord, making these prophecies come to pass, the destruction, bringing the destruction upon this place. And the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail. Exactly. And that's what's going to happen out here, man. People's desire going to fail because they going to see that there is no continuation in this place, man. They finna see that America is done for. All right? They finna see that they way of living the American dream, having that hope that everything is gonna be okay, is done for. All right, back to it. And the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and a desire shall fail, because man goeth to his lone home, and the mourners go about the streets. Exactly. And that's what you're gonna have, man. Like it said, because man goeth to his long home. You know what that means? I mean, you're gonna be traveling home, going the long way, because you don't want to go home. Because what's at the house? Nothing but fucking stress, depression. You're gonna be taking a long route home, man. Cause you don't want to explain why you ain't got the money for the rent, why you ain't got money for the food, put food on the table for the family. All right, you're gonna be stressing, so you're just gonna take the long route home. Some people ain't even gonna go back home, and the mourners go about the streets. Exactly. There's gonna be hella people out in the streets, man. These people finna start kicking people out their homes, man, that can't pay the rent, man. They ain't gonna have no pity, especially on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Know if they ain't gonna have no pity on their own, which is so-called white man, the Edomites, they ain't gonna have no pity on their own people. So what makes you think they finna have pity on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans when it comes to paying this rent, man? They gonna put you out as soon as they can, man, and have no pity. And you gonna be what? You be going about the streets mourning. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 6. Flee out the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. That's what you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are supposed to be doing. But nope, you don't want to do that. You want to keep living that American dream, staying stuck in that the image of the beast. All right, thinking what the image of the beast showing you is gonna come to pass, like America's just gonna go back to what it used to be. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. Exactly, this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. This ain't the time for the rebuilding of America. No, this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunk of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Exactly. And all you other nations that's following America into this plot, into this plan, your society is gonna fall too. Verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. Exactly, but she ain't gonna be healed. All right. So it ain't enough icy hot, ain't enough tiger balm in the world to heal this destruction that's coming, to heal this economic failure to come back, man. Verse 9. We will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Exactly. Ain't no coming back. Ain't no coming back, America. Forsake her, and let us go, everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and it's lifted up even to the skies. Exactly. And that's what's finna happen, and that's what's going on, as you see through the news clippings. So, with that, all praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the elders at Great Millstone. Honor to all the brethren out here doing the work in the will of the Father in truth and sincerity. Shalom.